let's get into our predictions. I got film notes and keys to the victory are things that will ultimately determine this game. Let's do film notes really, really quickly. First and foremost, we've already talked about it tonight on the live show. They are really, really committed to the run. They take 70 snaps a game on the offensive side of the football, 40 of them going to be running the ball. That is statistically proven. They are far more committed to it than I ever thought they would be. I think it's part of the reason for their success this year offensively. They're not giving it back to opponents so quickly. They are so dedicated to it in the sense that even on 2nd and 12, even on 2nd and 11s, you're still likely to get a run play from this Mississippi State football team. They will lull you to sleep with a death strike attempt, okay? They will run, bomb. Run, bomb. All right, so you have to be very, very alert and aware at all times. I think Blake Chafin is a middle infielder. We talk all the time. Bear Buckmeyer is a catcher. Mm-hmm. I think Gunnar Stockton plays the quarterback position like a catcher or almost like a middle linebacker. This kid plays the quarterback position like a second baseman. Very, very quick release, very twitchy, very small and compact, very decent athlete, all right, but not a physical presence, if that makes sense. Just a good contact hitter. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how I would compare this guy.
It makes as much sense as it could for me.
I would make him throw the ball 30-plus times from within the pocket. I think I would game plan him the same way I would a Trinidad Chambliss, except I don't have to prepare for the death strike that is the legs. You know what I mean? I don't think he's that dynamic as an athlete. They force a lot of missed tackles as a ball carrier unit. Specifically Anthony Evans and the running back number 6. That kid is really, really, really tough to tackle. A lot of repetitiveness in scheme. A lot. They're going to play fast, but they're not going to do a whole lot, I don't think. Not based off what I saw on them. If they're in 3-by-1, you're going to see Brennan Thompson come in motion. He's going to be running a shallow cross. Number 3 is going to be running a deep over. Number 1 is going to be running a post. And the single receiver, number X, is going to be running a stop. All right? If you see them in duos, they're going to switch release and run comebacks, or they're going to switch release and run verticals. They are very, very simplistic in their scheme. They just run it really fast and hope you get caught sleeping, in my opinion. 4th and 2, inside the 38s, they're going. Just get ready. Now, I know you mentioned but previous to the show that they don't take as many 4th downs as I might have thought. I think they're 12 of 20 on the year on
Correct.
4th down. However, okay, they're a fast-paced offense that's wide choice in a sense, and all of those teams are 38-yard lines in between the midfields. They're going for it on 4th and short. Now, the differentiation factor is there. If it's anything north of 4th and 3, they're not going. But they play the analytics firm with regards to going for it on 4th down. All right, I got some storyline/matchups that I think will define this game. Jonathan, you want it 1 to 5 or 5 to 1?
1 to 5.
All right, you got it. Number 1, Mississippi State's play style plus run defense. Okay, and here's what I mean. If they are going 3 and out really, really quickly, like they have a propensity to do so, and their defense can't stop the run, that's a death sentence against this Georgia football team that can lean on the best of defenses, let alone a defense that's in the 90s range against the run this year. So I am foreseeing already midway through the 3rd quarter, Georgia goes on a 12-play, 75-yard scoring drive, features 9 or 10 runs. Mississippi State goes 3 and out, puts their defense back on the field to try to lean up against that Georgia offensive line. That's bad, bad news for this Mississippi State football team. Number 2, explosives. That's their way out in this football game. They don't have to win anything. If they dominate you in the explosives, they will beat you. That's the whole math of what they're trying to do. If they take 75 snaps and 7 of them are 40-plus yard gainers, you're losing. You're just going to lose this football game. You have to watch out for explosives. And when they get them, or whoever gets them, are they ran into the box, or are you going to have to fight to win a red zone possession? That's a major key here for Georgia's defense particularly. I think if Georgia can, if they do allow explosives, if they can get the guy down on the ground and live to fight into the red zone and maybe fight for a field goal, they got a chance here. If they don't, that's bad news bears in this football game. Hey, we'll take a quick minute to give a shout out to our friends over at Sleeper. What a great time to be here on this network this year, but also a great time to be with our friends over at Sleeper. Go over to Sleeper today, the #1 place for daily fantasy and prop plays. Sleeper Picks is a real money product that connects friends over picks. Choose 2 to 8 of your favorite players from pregame, live, or even across different sports. Pick more than or less than the predicted stats
It's that simple. On Sleeper, you can get up to 100x payouts, share with your friends, and get rewarded today. Use promo code Brooks, as you see on the screen, on Sleeper and get 100% deposit match up to $100. Again, that's sleeper.com/promo/Brooks. Terms and conditions apply. Boys, as you know, we're about 28 minutes at the time of this ad read from the kickoff of NFL Sunday. So go ahead, run over to Sleeper right now. I'll give you permission to leave the stream actively. Go over to Sleeper, get a play in right quick, and get paid. We appreciate those folks over there at Sleeper. Again, that's promo code Brooks over there on Sleeper.
All right. Number 3, Mississippi State's turnover creations. I'm watching out for it. They lead the league in interceptions. If they can steal a couple possessions, number 4, protections on both sides. Hey, which one of these quarterbacks has time at all? All right, that's a major key here. Number 5, fatigue. Which defense gets left on the field way too long? I think both sides of the football. All right, if Georgia's offense takes 80 snaps in this football game, they will rush for 300 yards. I'm telling you. And if you take 80 snaps on the defensive side of the football, Mississippi State's scoring 35+. It's going to happen, so watch out. All right, let's get into our actual prediction, boys. What do you think the keys to this football game is?
I got Mississippi State needs to turn it into a full-on sprint, like 100-meter fast-paced sprint, to where that's the offense. Like, that's how you want to play offense in general, but you need to make Georgia feel like that's what they need to do. Like, they need to keep up the pace with you, because if not, they might fall behind in this one. For Georgia, I put it this way. Be content with being boring. In other words, when the DBs are faced with having to defend a 40-plus yard pass down the field, don't feel like you got to do something flashy and try and pick it off. Just make sure that ball hits the ground. Just do the boring thing. Just face guard like you normally have. Don't get the PI or anything like that, but just make sure the ball hits the ground. You don't have to do anything flashy there. Keep everything in front of you. Play boring. Offensively, play boring. Run the ball. Pick up first downs. Be efficient. That's all you need to do. Be content with being boring. Don't try and feel like you have to match their flash.
I have it basically whittled down to one sentence. Can Georgia keep it in front, and can Mississippi State get behind? Because I feel like this game is going to be lost in whatever team has the ability to get explosives more. I feel like Mississippi State's explosives, while they do have an ability to run the football, while they are very, very stubborn in that regard, I feel like if they're going to get explosives in this game, it's going to be getting behind Georgia DBs and getting long chunks, long pass plays. If Georgia can keep them in front and force Mississippi State to have these methodical drives all game, they're probably in a good spot. If Mississippi State can get behind, however, you're going to see a lot of points scored, or a requirement for that to be the case for Georgia to win.
Keys to the game for Georgia: get your cleats in the ground versus pace. Right? Cannot make a play if we aren't ready when the play starts. All right, we got to be ready for the pace. Got to practice against the pace. I don't feel like Georgia's been caught napping or caught with their pants down against a team with pace in a long time. They practice and prepare for teams that play fast better than most. So I'm not all that worried about it. But most importantly for this defense, get them into inefficient counts and inefficient downs and make them feel the need to become one-dimensional. We just told you they like to lean on the run. They're a 40-attempt football game. They can't be that way against you guys. Their first 15 attempts have to go for 45 yards, so much so that they don't want to run the ball anymore. They become a one-dimensional passing football team, and if you do that, you will dominate them. You will dominate them because they will be giving the ball back to you so fast that you might get 18 possessions in this football game. It was the key to success for Texas. Eventually, they just got it so many times that they ultimately started to score points. All right, this could happen in this football game for Georgia as well. All right, most important in terms of eye discipline, alertness. When number one's on the field, y'all better be jumping up and down. When Kamari Taylor, the backup quarterback, who is the future of this Mississippi State football team, when he's on the field, you better be screaming, hollering, and shouting, jumping up and down, 1-1-1, alert, 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 alert. Because they will hide this kid as a wide receiver. They will play him at quarterback. They will play him at running back. They will put him at wide receiver, run him in jet. And you will think they are playing Wildcat. They're not. They might be hunting an explosive with the backup quarterback dressed as a wide receiver, and he looks like one too. He's 6'4", he's 220 pounds, he wears a single digit, and he's out there standing in the slot, and nobody, I'm watching it, Texas, nobody, not a single solitary soul pointed at him, said anything about him being on the field, and that could be a death sentence if you're not paying attention for that one. Offensively, man, attack their zone coverages. They're not a man-to-man football team. They will play a lot of zone And when I say attack it, I'm talking about attack it early. No different than you did against Ole Miss. We can't wait around, man. We can't be out here being methodical to start this football game. We got to hunt. We got to hunt early and get this offense confident, because I promise you right now, the run game's going to be there for 4 quarters. So let's get the explosives off to a hot start to start the ball game. Death marches will lead to explosives late in this football game. They will overcommit themselves to the run. For Mississippi State, explosives and turnovers. You already talked about it. That's your path to a victory. What's your X factor? For me, it's time of possession. Georgia is not the offense to line up and play 80 snaps against. And guess what? This Mississippi State defense averaging 70 snaps a game. 70 snaps a game against normal offenses, not against one of these. This football team's got a chance to go 80-plus snaps, and that's a death sentence for any defense.
Yeah, it certainly is. I put it as KJ Bolden. Hopefully you get him for all 4 quarters this time, but having him as like your last safety valve on this defense against this team, I think he's going to have some potential and opportunities to make some big-time plays. Going to need him to.
Give me Mississippi State wide receiver Anthony Evans. It's a familiar name for Georgia. He's a speedster slot receiver. He played with the Bulldogs for 2 years. He's going to be a vertical threat in this game. They are going to try to get him shots. Be careful. Be on the lookout for that.
Didn't feel as if Kyron Jones' injury has reared its ugly head in the first 2 games that Ja'Cory has had to start, right? Or has it just been 1? Was it just the Florida game?
No, there's 2.
It was 2. Played the Ole Miss game. And didn't feel like it reared its head there.
Nope.
No.
Didn't feel like, well, maybe late, but that was a combination of everybody. I mean, KJ blew assignments against Florida. Zion blew assignments. Ja'Cory blew assignments against Florida. Is this the football game that it could, like, really, really haunt you? Because they are explosive through the middle of the field, particularly. Like, they hunt explosives outside the numbers, but this is a deep over football team, too. This is a big dig team. They handle a lot of chunks in the middle of the field.
Yeah.
It could be, yeah.
Could be. Better hope it's not.
What's your unless it doesn't happen?
You know, you mentioned that Gunnar Stockton is completing 85% of his passes in the 4th quarter. That stat stands true because he doesn't even have to throw a single pass in the 4th quarter. Heard it here first, unless it doesn't happen.
Wow, you got him rolling, huh?
I just think by the 4th quarter, it's in a position of dogs just got to run it.
Here's the real question. Do the Mississippi State Bulldogs spell dogs D-O-W-G-S?
Not as far as I know.
No.
They ain't got a shot.
They try to.
They ain't got a shot. What do you got for me?
The last time Georgia played this game in Starkville was 2022, and I remember very vividly one play that sticks out into my mind. Stetson Bennett on a read, taking the ball and absolutely baptizing a Bulldog defender. Just
dropped his drawers.
Juking him out of his shoe. Any idiom you want to use, he did it to him. My Lord. Give me Gunnar Stockton doing the same thing on Saturday. I have Gunnar Stockton taking a Mississippi State defender's soul on the way to a touchdown run. You heard it here first, unless it doesn't happen.
Mississippi State, not a very good run defense, Jonathan.
95th of the country.
Georgia, pretty daggum good run offense, Christian Kirby.
Very efficient.
They have a very good run offense.
You heard it here first. Dogs have their first 300-yard rushing game in this one. Dogs roll.
Delicious.
You heard it here first.
I like this.
On the ground, 3 hundos. 3 big bucks. What do you got for me prediction-wise, J. Will?
I got Georgia 34, Mississippi State 24.
Ooh.
I've got
Close early?
Yeah,
Pull
I
away
mean,
late.
I think it's going to be tight early on, but I think that by the second half, Georgia going to do what they do best, finish games.
I've got Georgia winning this one 35-27.
Dogs on top, 38-24.
Wow, that's a hefty win.
Yep. I got it. Big-time offensive breakout. What are you checking?
I just wanted to check the line because it did move up to 8.5.
It did, suspiciously.
Side note, did you know that Mississippi State is allowing 35 points a game against SEC teams?
It is
Arkansas, Texas, Florida. I'm trying to think of their conference slate because they haven't. What I'm trying to get at is like they haven't played A&M.
They have.
They have.
That was the 31.
That's where they got thumped.
They played They played Tennessee. They played some of the better offenses in the league.
Oh,
They have.
absolutely.
That's not quite fair.
I get it, but still.
You know.
The line has moved to 9.5.
Ooh, you like that? If you're Line moving? That is delicious. That's great.
That's tasty news?
That's great news if you're a Georgia fan.
I thought that's public.
That usually is public money.
And I thought that's sucker money, Jonathan. I thought you fade the public.
You fade the public, but when the line moves, that means that there's enough money for the books to make an adjustment.
I was drunk in a bar. They threw me into public.